Hello and welcome to Delta Sparks Pod. I am Evan.
And I'm Andy. Pop, 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 pop.
Pop, pop, pop. Welcome back to our podcast. We are just thrilled and overjoyed by the response that we're getting, all the messages, the follows, the subscribes. If you are watching this on IGTV, do us a favor, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or just go to deltasparkspod.com, one word. All of the links there at the bottom. Follow us on one of those. It helps us to continue to do this.
You know what? While we're asking for it, follow us on all of them. You can set them to play, walk away, and go and watch our IGTV if you want to see us.
Play all of them at the same time while trying to watch it. It's kind of like watching The Wizard of Oz and turning Dark Side of the Moon on when color hits.
It's totally a trip.
You just hear me going, this is blah, 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 blah.
And Evan will wear that shirt.
Yes.
Just
but
like
only the shirt.
Oh, no.
Only the shirt.
And a Speedo.
So, speaking of Speedos, we have a really awesome guest today. I think this is definitely one of the people that when we thought, who do we want to have on as a guest? They were top three, if not number one or two. I don't remember.
For both of us.
Both of us, Double. This is a person me and Andy both met on Instagram. Some people might know him as the IG OG.
I've also heard him referred to as the Godfather.
Well, Godfather, yes. Oh, do you know what OG stands for?
I'm guessing that's a no on my part, considering you're
guessing
asking.
It's a no?
I thought it was Original Gangster.
Well, or Original Grammar.
All right.
Or, yeah, like Instagrammer. That made sense. Now it's connected.
I was like, grammar. I was like,
our guest tonight, okay? Our guest tonight, here's a little cut sheet on him. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. He is a graduate of, as he puts it, the School of Hard Knocks. I think we went to the same school. The alma mater was, no, fuck you.
I think I went to the sister high school of Catholicism.
His fun fact is he makes gallery quality reproduction shaker clocks. I don't know what that is. I know what a clock is and I know what shaking is, but I don't know what a shaker clock is.
You think it is?
Is it like a clock that you can shake unlike a baby?
Very much no.
Okay, so you can't shake the clock. Don't shake the clock. Okay. You can find him on social media at Lower48. Please welcome to Delta Sparks Pod, Chris.
Yay!
Yay! And the crowd went wild. Ooh.
We didn't even practice that.
We didn't.
That's pretty impressive. Thanks
and
for
now,
having me on, guys.
And now you ready? Are you ready, Andy? Cheers.
Oh, yes. Cheers.
Thank you guys so much for that support of that idea. I really
love it.
That's probably one of the things that I'm the happiest about that I've done on Instagram. So
yeah, it's awesome. Do you know how hard that was to get that to me in Canada?
Somebody had to boof it. They had to boof it to get it over the border.
My girl Liz, she did me a solid on that one.
Well, you know what? There's been some other people that wanted one up in Canada, and I ended up getting in touch. I can't remember who it was, but somebody's going to be making them up in Canada sometime soon because the shipping situation over the border is ridiculous. So
it's
that Canadian border. Oh, yeah. Well, on the topic of the cups and the idea and this thing you've put together, for those of you who don't know, the slogan is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I just wanted to make sure I had the wording correct.
Did you forget it?
I have it written down, but I'm like, if I say this wrong, well, fuck me then.
Yeah. So we're starting over. Wrap it up.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Where did that come from?
That is a statement that is literally so old. Nobody knows. They think maybe it came from Africa based upon the way that the society worked, but it is literally so old that no one knows. It's been verbally handed down long before it was written down, and they literally just don't know. So that's why I love that slogan so much, not just because of what it said, but because no one knows whose it is. So it's everyone's, you know?
There you go.
Love it.
I really liked it. It was a battle cry for community.
Absolutely.
Which we needed right now.
Yeah. I mean, I came on Instagram, like I've talked about, right in the middle of the pandemic. Didn't know anybody. Didn't know either of you. Now look at us.
No, gosh. Best friends.
Best friends forever.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants over here.
Maybe. Yeah. Moving on. But why, what was it about that statement that drew you to it, to put it out there to the Instagram world, to the community at large?
So I always loved doodling. And so there was a lot of doodling going on where I was like, I'm putting some stuff together with tools because I'm a tool freak. And then there was just a lot of negativity going on with Instagram about women in the trades and, they don't belong and all this stupid stuff. And then there was just like a general undertow of, I'm better than you are. And it just stupid stuff. And it just got old. And so that just kind of started percolating with me and it was in the back of my mind. And one thing led to another. I started drawing up something where I had a man and a woman's arm together. Hey, look, we can all support the same thing, which is working in the trades. And, because I'm in the trades now, that spoke to me. And the slogan came along because I knew that one already. And the rest is history, as they say.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Fabulous.
Because basically what you're talking about is describing what I thought this Instagram thing was going to be when I first joined. I was like, I'm kind of hesitant to, because I don't need to be battling with people more than I already am in my just current daily life, like traffic and coworkers and family stuff and friend stuff. So it's like, I really like that. It spoke to me. I think that it currently represents, I can't speak for the whole Instagram trade tool community, but I think it currently represents the majority's feel of where people are at. I've heard other ones like community over competition.
Yeah, same concept.
Yeah.
It's not like there's only a certain amount of food for all these people and we have to battle over it. There's enough for everyone and then some.
Or followers. A certain amount of followers for everyone.
I was trying not to get into that.
I went there. That's what we do. Break down barriers.
Right down the middle, right down the plate. So you said something, now that you're in the trades. I had gone through some of your posts, doing a little research, and you talked about making the change in careers. So if you don't mind, where did you come from career-wise? How did you get to where you are now? What was your first job? Did it have anything to do with saying, would you like fries with that?
No, I actually swept floors and emptied trash cans. That was my first job. And then very quickly after that, I was about, I don't know, I guess I was close to 15 at that point. A local instrument shop needed somebody to clean their place. So they hired me to clean their floors, and one thing led to the other. He taught me the trade. I became his apprentice, and I ended up owning half the company. Then I got married, and my wife didn't like to travel. And so I sold my business at that point, my interest in it. I went back to school and ended up managing other people's money for the next 20 years.
Wow. That's quite a change.
Call after this.
So then I got divorced and was sitting in my cube overlooking a very nice office space. But I looked at the cube one day and I thought, I don't want to die in the cube. I want to get back outside.
What a scary thought.
So I already had 2 careers. And so I sold my financial practice. At that point, I owned a practice. I sold that to my partner and went back into the trades. So
it's funny you say practice. I feel like anyone dealing with finances, legal stuff, and medical stuff should have been practiced enough and should just be doing it.
Well, that's because you're a layman. There's never any perfection. It's just like us, right? You can get really, really good at your work, but are you ever going to be perfect at it? No. And neither is anybody else. Doctors aren't perfect. Finance guys certainly aren't perfect. In fact, they're
No.
probably amongst the biggest weasels in the bunch. But yeah.
Tell me how you really feel, Chris.
Let's not alienate our potential future listeners just yet.
If you're a swanky, shark tooth wearing, hair combed back, kind of, Hujima what's it, working on Wall Street, hit subscribe, please.
Yeah, I tell you what, just for you guys, I actually was cleaning out an old phone and I found a picture of myself from about a decade ago. With the suit and the tie and all that stuff, and
full Gordon Gekko.
I was actually kind of thinking about doing a post on that, so I'll do a post just for you guys.
Oh, that'd be awesome!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks,
10 years later.
I'm trying to image it here, but I don't feel like it's connecting.
Well, it was pretty easy. I had hair like you. Well, it was a little thinner, but I had hair like you and no beard. So,
like me or like Andy?
Flip flop it.
Did you have braids?
Yeah. No, I could have though.
My hair, not her hair.
Yeah, your hair. Yeah, a little shorter, In finance, long hair was at that time not really encouraged. So
yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah. Now, Chris, when you switched over from your finance, did you end up going back to school?
No. I actually found a local firm who needed some help, and it actually came about through a series of kind of fortunate events. My brother knew a guy. And he needed some help on a weekend. I went up and gave him a help doing some networking for a solar plant. And so we chatted the whole weekend while we were trying to get this thing up and running. And he ended up hiring me. And so I just went right back into it. Not to the level that I am now, but yeah, right back into it. So
I have to ask, because I took a brief pause in my trade, not the same period. It was about a year and a half, almost 2 years, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
What was it like getting back up to speed, if you will, or kind of getting back into the rhythm and remembering a lot of the things that when you first started back again, you were like, I used to know this stuff, or it used to be second nature. I didn't have to think about it.
The cool thing is that the physics of what I do, that's never changed. It doesn't change, right? So that stuff was all there. What has changed is the language in which you transmit the data. So there was a lot of night classes being taken and trying to get back up to speed. And there were some new languages that had actually been developed, or not developed, but no, they were developed. They were out there when I was doing it before, but
they weren't being utilized.
No, but now they're full on utilized and becoming in the industry standard. So had to get back up into speed on that. That was pretty intense.
So a lot less dial-up nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
When you didn't plug something in, you didn't hear you've got your results on your test.
Exactly.
Now, Chris, for our listeners who haven't followed you or whatever, could you give us your title? Like what it is you do exactly?
Well, I'm a member of the firm. That's my title. But what I do is I'm an instrumentation and control technician.
Awesome. My worst class in school, but
yeah, it's fun.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, and really, we don't do very much general work anymore. We're pretty much, we still do general work. We'll take whatever we got, but we specialize in what's called area velocity flow measurement, and so that involves the measurement of partially full pipes, which is a really niche-y little thing, and that's really what we do. So,
I should definitely have you out to my house soon because I'm having a lot of plumbing issues.
Yeah, it's a hoot. Yeah, I'm getting ready to hop a plane. I was supposed to do it actually yesterday, but getting ready to hop a plane Monday, going out to Denver, and I'll be working with. I think the smallest one is a 36-inch, and the largest is 100 and something. So big.
Is that long or round?
That's the diameter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
3 foot long pipe. Come on.
That'd be a shorty right there.
I mean, it could. Hey, you know what? Just because it's short doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot going through it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, it could be, whatever. So going through your Instagram and going through some of your posts, I'll speak for myself. One of the reasons I was, for lack of a better word, attracted to your page more so than some others is some of the things that you would put up there were not with what I guess you'd say is like the tool or trade kind of like pages. You had this post of oh god, now I'm gonna forget his name, a famous astroscientist, African American.
A couple of them up there.
He's like the guy. I don't know, but you put this post up, and
you're talking
this
about
is what
Neil deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what he said was, and you posted this, so I'm assuming there's some correlation. He said he quoted what he wants on his tombstone when he dies. Yeah. It says, "Be ashamed to die until you have scored some victory for humanity."
Absolutely.
Okay, now I'm going to say that one more time for people who like are driving and they're like, "What did he just say?" Be ashamed to die until you have scored some victory for humanity.
That's heavy.
That is heavy, right? That's a heady thing. It goes with the shirt, you know. It's like, ooh. So I guess I have a few questions for you on that. If I'm assuming you've thought about that a little bit before, because after hearing that, after hearing that, and after like reading it again for myself earlier when I was putting these together, I thought about it. So I guess first part of that is, what does that look like for you?
So I would like ideally to do a few things for other people besides myself. Don't get me wrong. I talk about this all the time that I love to make money because I certainly love my flashy tools and my toys and all that stuff.
And, like,
you know,
Vito's maybe? Vito with wheels?
I do have a thing for Vito, but that wheeled one was free. So, you know,
I'll send you my address.
Missing. It was a prototype, and it was missing a lot of the goodies that the actual real thing has got. But it was still free. So,
so doing stuff for others that maybe isn't connected to money. Yeah. So that's really perfect. It ties into my next part. Is so speaking of people, does the size of the population you've impacted reflect the change you've made?
Can you repeat that question there, Evan?
Was that a little?
Not really.
Okay. No, sorry, Andy. The question was, does the size of the population you've impacted directly reflect the change you've made? So bigger, smaller?
It doesn't matter. I'm still going to keep doing what I do. And, you know, my Instagram page, which is primarily where my followers are at, so to speak, I don't really spend a lot of time on really any other social media. I think my company has a Facebook page. And, you know, but it's really pretty much second, third and fourth or whatever. Right. So, but yeah, I like to share some of the things that are important to me. I hope that I can, with Instagram, with the audience that I have, pass on a little bit of knowledge. I don't know if you guys follow Old School Tech, but he really deep dives. Like every one of his posts is a huge thing about, you know, something he's learned in life. And mine isn't, because I am a tool junkie, and it really shows on my pages.
It's okay. So are we.
I love showing and using the tools, and, you know, it's what I do. But I like to throw in a little bit of, here's some food for thought, you know. Here's something that I've learned. Here's something that I think is important. And I make it pretty sparse because I do want it to have impact, just like you picking up on the Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know, I don't want to overload it for me because my whole page is mostly tools, but I want to throw some other value adds in there from time to time, and
some little thought nuggets.
Yeah.
I think when you're able to connect someone's hands, their heart, and their head all together, you know, that's. So I think that answered kind of. I think our little back and forth earlier today kind of answered a question for me. The last part of that question for me was, how do you know you've scored such a victory, as it's put? And at least in my eyes, I think you have scored that victory.
I would agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Not done yet. So that's the thing.
We're not telling you to go die.
Please don't.
No, so I probably will never quit working. I will die with my boots on. The odds are. it may not be doing what I'm doing right now. But I am not the kind of person where I'm going to go, I'm just hanging it up and put my feet up in Key Largo or, wherever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But I always see that there's something, the reason I feel like I am on earth is that I have something to give to somebody else. I could tell you, I don't even know how many times I've had a close call. And I mean, really close calls, a bunch of them, and I'm still here. So there's a reason I'm here. I don't know exactly what that is, but I feel like that there's something that I have to share for somebody else that can make an impact that betters the world. If I'm bettering the world, then I'm going to keep living. So.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. I would like to say I want to go out with my boots on, but the fact of the matter is I want to go out making love to my wife, and she doesn't let me wear boots to bed. So
you need to work on that.
Well, maybe you wear your boots to bed and she'll kill you.
Hey,
no,
there we go.
It's all about the cell.
Full circle. I mean, so
you got to pick your game up in other areas, and then the boots can come on in. It's fine.
Okay.
It's not about the boots. It's about all the other games.
You're saying I have to grow out the beard a little.
Whatever it takes.
I'm gonna go totally off base here for 1 second. I was in Texas years back. I was touring. I'm a musician-ish. I don't know. I play music. I was touring. We were in Texas. We were in West Texas, where the movie Friday Night Lights is based on. Mm-hmm. And we walk into this bar, and there's this guy behind the bar. His name is Roach. He's about 68 at the time. He's got a beard down to his nipples, no hair on top. He kind of looks like the Crypt Keeper, but he was the coolest old dude. He was running the bar, and he asked me to come out to his car with him to help him bring some stuff in for him setting up. And I was like, sure. And I walk out there, and he's got a bumper sticker on his car. And this is why I want to grow a beard, and I really can't. But I want to grow a beard just to get the bumper sticker. It says, bearded for her pleasure. And I feel like I would do really well with a bumper sticker like that. And right next to that would be like, kids on board.
Yeah.
So
those two would go together.
Right? I mean,
I will have to interject here and say the beard has nothing to do with it, but it doesn't hurt.
Or does it have everything to do with it and it doesn't hurt? And
how's your beard coming in, Ev?
I'm keeping it close. With the mask on, for me, with the mask, I have to wear the mask all day. I had, like in the winter, it got a little bit longer, a little bit shaggier. I was like giving myself a chance. I kind of looked like a terrorist, but like not a good one. Not to say like
not a hot terrorist.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think there's any like good terrorists. I just meant like I really couldn't pull anything off. I'd be the guy who got caught renting the car. So
yeah, I'm real fortunate that I work by myself most of the time, or we are like isolated. So
yeah, closed circuit.
It's you might meet with the client for a minute, but it's usually meeting for the client. Meet the client out the job site, kind of talk through what's going on, and then that's it. It's just me, or it's me and my helper, or it's me and my partner. There's no interaction, so I can pretty much wear my beard any way I want. So that's pretty handy.
Yeah. Mine's coming in nicely too. So
and my wife actually was just harassing me earlier about the length of my beard. She's like, "Is it maybe due for a trim?" I'm like,
now you can go back after this and be like, "Listen, love, I just had both a man and a woman tell me how beautiful my beard was."
It'll be shorter next week.
Okay. Fair. I feel as it gets warmer, the facial hair gets reduced.
No.
Oh, no.
Opposite? No. No, the facial hair is perfect in the summer. It keeps the sun off your face. It does get a little warm, but as long as you keep it to a manageable level, it's perfect.
See,
oh my God, the beard tans are so funny. Just like
see the guys that shave it off. Yeah.
I can't do moderation well. I don't know middle of the road. So it's either all or nothing with me.
It's clean cut or beard to your nips.
Yep. Facial hair, no facial hair. Junk food, no junk food. Clothes, no clothes. So
wait, I have another question for you, Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Could you please explain to Evan what a shaker clock is?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So north of where I live in Cincinnati, there was a early settlement of people called Shakers from New York. And so they came from, I think it was Watervliet, maybe. But anyway, they established a settlement and built a community. And these people were celibate, which is interesting.
But it was kind of a religious.
Yeah,
like,
and that's why they built. Yeah, and that's why they built clocks, because they weren't getting any.
They were doing the clocks and their seeds and all kinds of other things to basically pay for their way. So the clocks were more used for their personal stuff, but they sold a good bit of them. But it's a very clean, very simple style, and I'll throw that up on the post tomorrow as well. So
all right.
I've still got one that I made in my office. So
I'm not going to look up what they are until you post it.
I'll post it.
I'm going to keep an eye on it. So moving on real quick. Tell me something good. Where did that come from? Where did the idea to put that out there? How did it catch on?
So very early on with Instagram, when I started getting active on Instagram, I followed a wastewater operator. Tracy Kending is her name, not very far from my office. It was funny because we've never met, but we work in like the same zones and the same circles, so it's kind of funny. But anyway, I followed her, and she had a couple of stories, and she talked about, whatever's going on, but tell me something good. And so she kept putting that in there a couple times for like a week, and I'm like, I like that. So I sent her a DM. I'm like, I really like that. I'm like, would you be offended if I kind of took that and ran with it? She said, no, not at all. So I've been running with it. And it's been really cool because some other people picked up on it. And it's awesome. I think I've been tagged today alone maybe like 4 or 5 times from other people that are doing it now. So it's super cool. It's
very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
And
less so when Evan does it, I will say.
What the
Come on.
You were mean to me on yours. I am like praising you in every single one. And
I don't know how to take compliments, okay? I'm a broken individual. Leave me alone.
It happens. Whoa.
My wife, my now wife, when we first started dating, she would try to give me compliments, and I would get very uncomfortable. And she'd be like, well, I could
I did here, by the way.
Chris is playing old flip the phone.
Can you guys see me now?
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah. So my wife would try to give me compliments.
Thank goodness.
And I didn't know how to take it. So eventually she just caught on. She goes, wow, that looks really good. You're a piece of shit. And I could take that. I don't know why. And I'll be honest, the whole why I started doing the, kind of jumping on that bandwagon of tell me something good or give me something positive wasn't so much for you, Chris, or for anybody else on Instagram. It was honestly for me because, I've, like everyone, have my struggles, sometimes, you have rough days, sometimes you have rough patches. And I decided to lean on the community a little bit to kind of give me some refocusing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's probably one of the things that is most awesome to me is that those times where I've done it and I just haven't really felt it, but I've still done it. Like the responses from people back have been so cool. And you just look at the little wins in people's life. And I think that's so important just to remember is that, no matter what is going on, there is also something good going on somewhere, and in my own life, when I start thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, there's still something good going on.
It can't all be bad.
Yeah,
always.
It can't all be bad. No.
To me, it's like that
goes along
forcing
the
the
mindset.
smile. When you're not feeling good, you make yourself smile, and eventually you start feeling better. Like that, kind of along the same lines.
Yeah. Move a muscle, change a thought. There's so many different ways to put it. I think no matter how you put it, continuing to put it out there, continuing to internalize it as well, using that as a tool for yourself when you're having a bad day or having a bad moment. I'm an ultimate thinker, like I said before, right? Moderation is not something I do well. So when I'm one way, I'm one way. And when I'm the other way, I'm the other way. And for me, it's very difficult sometimes to transition or find that happy medium. So I really appreciate that. Andy, do you want to introduce our segment?
So we have our segment where we give a piece of advice or a tip. So
what is it called?
We're gonna ask Chris for just the tip.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that.
So, yeah, my advice is and there's lots of advice. I've done a lot of stupid things in life, and I've learned from those. But that's pretty much the advice. Take a few risks. Don't be afraid to fail, but learn from those failures. And you try not to repeat them. But
unless they're fun.
Yeah,
Well, the definition of insanity is, right?
Doing the same thing over and over
again,
expecting
a different result. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, my piece of advice is push yourself until the point that you fail, and learn where the failure happens, and recalibrate and come back at it again harder. So
recalibrate from the instrumentation tech.
I had to throw it in there.
I got that.
Yeah, you got it. You were paying attention in class.
Yes, sir. Kind of.
Oh, man. So, Chris, before we let you go, we are going to introduce a new segment with you real quick. It's literally quick. It's called the lightning round, okay? It's 5 questions. 5 questions.
All right, shoot.
First thing that comes to your mind. You ready? We good?
Yeah.
You ready?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you just want me to say something?
Question 1. Are you ready?
No, that's it.
Bring it on.
All right, question 1.
I was born ready, man.
Ooh, I like it. Question 1. Favorite city besides the one you live in?
That would probably be Hazelmere in the UK.
Hazelmere.
Hazelmere in Surrey.
Okay. I've heard of Surrey, not Hazelmere. Question
Surrey's
2.
the largest surrounding area. Hazelmere is the city.
Oh, okay. So question 2, would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Oh, give me the speech to the world.
Okay. Very interesting. I like it.
Surprised me, that answer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
Oh, about a 9.
Okay.
I drive like an old man. Very cautious.
Oh, okay. We're not the same in that way. If you could invite one person to dinner, live or dead, who would it be?
Oh, that's a tough. I've got about 10. But we're going to go with Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Honest Abe. Last question. Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Just the mere notion of eating anything that even has to do with animal is just verboten.
We differ on the driver, but we synchronize on the animal crackers. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to come and sit with us.
Appreciate you guys having me on. It was
a good time. Chris. That was great.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you and checking in with you again in the very near future, probably.
And I'll throw the post up as promised.
Appreciate it, Chris.
So again, guys, that's Lower 48 on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And remember to check out our podcast. That's Delta Sparks Podcast on Apple, Spotify.
You name it.
We're there. Like, rate, subscribe.
DeltaSparksPod.com. With that, Chris, thank you. And you guys, we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, Evan. Have a good night.